If your doctor recently told you that your creatinine level is high, or if you've started noticing foamy urine in the morning, if you're waking up 2 or 3 times a night to use the bathroom, or you've been feeling more tired than usual, please don't scroll past this video just yet, because in the next few minutes, what you're about to hear may help you understand how to protect your kidneys, reduce the burden on them, and support healthier creatinine levels naturally after the age of 60. One of the most common questions older adults ask is this: what should I eat now to help my kidneys? And the answer is yes, there are foods that may help. But here's the part many people miss. Not every vegetable is automatically good for your kidneys. What matters is which vegetables you eat, how much you eat, and how you prepare them. In this video, I'm going to share 5 common vegetables that may support kidney function, help take some pressure off your kidneys, and in many cases, may help support more stable creatinine levels when combined with the right lifestyle habits. But please pay close attention. There are mistakes many people make every single day when preparing vegetables, and those mistakes can turn something that seems healthy into something that may actually put more stress on your kidneys. So stay with me until the end, because vegetable number 3 may surprise you. Many people think it is not good for the kidneys, but when you use it the right way, it can actually be a very interesting option. Now let's talk about the 5 vegetables that people over 60 should really pay attention to, especially if you're worried about high creatinine, weaker kidney function, or a lower GFR number. And I want to be very clear from the beginning. These vegetables are not medicine. They do not replace your prescriptions, and they do not replace your doctor's advice. But when used the right way, they can be like taking a few heavy bags off your kidney shoulders every day. After the age of 60, our kidneys are not as strong as they were when we were 30. They still work quietly. They still filter your blood every day, but their ability to handle stress may not be the same as before. That is why eating the right way is not a small thing. When it comes to your kidneys, one small change in your meals can make a big difference over time. Older Americans often say slow and steady wins the race, and that is exactly how kidney care works. You don't need to do anything extreme. You just need to do the right things, do them consistently, and understand what your body needs. The first vegetable is red cabbage. Red cabbage is easy to find, it's not expensive, and for anyone trying to support kidney health, it deserves much more attention than it usually gets. Many people see red cabbage at the grocery store and think it's just something you add to a salad for color. But for someone with high creatinine or weaker kidneys, red cabbage can be a very smart choice. First, red cabbage is low in potassium, and that matters a lot. When your kidneys are healthy, your body can usually handle potassium pretty well. But when kidney function goes down, extra potassium can build up in the blood. If it gets too high, it can lead to muscle weakness, fatigue, heart rhythm problems, and in serious cases, it can be dangerous. Think of it this way. Your kidneys are like a kitchen strainer. When the strainer is new, water passes through easily. But when that strainer gets old or clogged, and you pour too much through it at once, it gets overwhelmed. Potassium works in a similar way. Potassium itself is not bad, but when the kidneys are weak, too much potassium can become a burden. The good thing about red cabbage is that it gives you fiber and antioxidants without forcing your kidneys to handle a heavy potassium load like some other vegetables can. Second, red cabbage is also relatively low in phosphorus. For people with kidney problems, high phosphorus over time can affect the bones and blood vessels. So choosing foods that are lower in phosphorus is one way to help reduce pressure on the kidneys. But what makes red cabbage even more special is its deep purple-red color. That color comes from natural antioxidant compounds that help the body fight inflammation and cell damage. You can think of inflammation like a slow, hidden fire inside the body. It may not flare up like a big flame, but if it keeps burning quietly every day, it can slowly damage blood vessels, kidney tissue, and other parts of the body. Foods rich in antioxidants, like red cabbage, may help calm some of that process. But here is where many people make a mistake. Do not overcook red cabbage. If you boil it or steam it for too long until it becomes soft and mushy, if it loses that beautiful purple color and starts turning grayish blue, then many of the valuable nutrients have already been reduced. A better way is to eat it raw in a salad. Slice it thin and mix it with a little olive oil, apple cider vinegar, or lemon juice. If you want to steam it lightly for just a few minutes. It should still have a little crunch and keep its natural color. Eating red cabbage about 3 to 4 times a week in a reasonable amount can be a very kidney-friendly choice. The second vegetable is cauliflower. Now I know what some of you may be thinking. Cauliflower? What's so special about that? But if you are worried about your kidneys, cauliflower is one of those vegetables that deserves a place on your plate. The first reason is that cauliflower is lower in potassium and phosphorus than many other vegetables. This makes it easier for people with weaker kidney function to manage their portions. Cauliflower can also replace some foods that are higher in starch or higher in potassium. For example, instead of eating a large serving of mashed potatoes, you could steam cauliflower and mash it with a little olive oil. It is still soft, it is still easy to eat, it works well for many older adults, but it may be much easier on the kidneys. The second reason is that cauliflower contains plant compounds that may help the body fight oxidative stress. That term may sound complicated, but here's a simple way to understand it. Oxidative stress is like rust inside the body. If a car sits outside for too long without protection, it starts to rust. Your body can go through something similar. Your blood vessels, kidney cells, and the tiny filtering parts inside your kidneys can become damaged over time when oxidative stress is too high. Cauliflower cannot repair damage that has already been lost, but it may help protect what is still working. And after the age of 60, sometimes the goal is not to make the body young again. The goal is to protect what is still healthy so it does not decline too quickly. Another point many people overlook is that cauliflower also contains fiber and nutrients that support healthy metabolism. For someone with foamy urine or concerns about protein in the urine, a healthy eating pattern that puts less pressure on the kidneys can be an important support alongside medical care. But the way you prepare cauliflower matters. If you boil it for too long in water, some nutrients can be lost into that cooking water. Now, if your doctor or renal dietitian has told you to lower potassium, boiling and draining certain vegetables may be useful in some cases. But if your goal is to preserve nutrients, lightly steaming cauliflower or roasting it with a small amount of olive oil is often a better choice. You may be able to eat cauliflower 3 to 5 times per week, depending on your health condition and your doctor's guidance. And remember this, eating healthy does not mean eating huge amounts. When it comes to the kidneys, the right amount matters more than the biggest amount. Now we come to vegetable number 3, and this may be the one that surprises a lot of people: garlic. Many people think garlic is just a seasoning. Some people with kidney problems are even afraid of garlic because it has a strong smell and a sharp taste. They think, if it's that strong, maybe it's not good for my body. But the truth is, when garlic is used the right way and in the right amount, it can be a very valuable friend in the meals of older adults. Garlic contains a well-known compound called allicin. This compound forms when you crush or chop fresh garlic. What makes allicin interesting is that it is linked to supporting inflammation control, heart health, and especially blood pressure. And as you already know, blood pressure is extremely important for your kidneys. When blood pressure stays high for a long time, the small blood vessels inside the kidneys can slowly become damaged. It is like spraying a thin screen with a very strong hose over and over again. 1 day or 2 days may not do much, but year after year, that screen will eventually weaken. The kidneys work in a similar way. High blood pressure is one of the leading reasons kidney function declines over time. Garlic does not replace blood pressure medication. You should never stop your medication just because you are eating garlic. But using fresh garlic properly in your meals can be part of a kidney-friendly and heart-friendly lifestyle. However, there is one very important trick that many people do not know. If you throw a whole garlic clove straight into a hot pan, many of the beneficial compounds may not have enough time to form before the heat damages them. A better way is this. Crush or finely chop the garlic. Let it sit for about 10 minutes, then add it to your food. It sounds simple, but this small detail can make a difference. Older Americans often say, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. A little prevention now can save a lot of trouble later. Garlic is the same way. You do not need to eat a lot. For many people, 1 to 2 fresh cloves a day used in cooking may be enough. But avoid garlic salt or garlic seasonings that are high in sodium. People with weaker kidneys need to be especially careful with salt. Fresh garlic may be helpful, but garlic mixed with salt is a very different story. And if you are taking blood thinners, heart medications, or if you are in a more advanced stage of kidney disease, ask your doctor before increasing garlic in your diet. The 4th vegetable is red bell pepper. Red bell pepper is bright, colorful, slightly sweet, and easy to eat. It is especially nice for many older adults because it is not spicy and does not have a strong smell. Here is what makes red bell pepper so useful. It is rich in nutrients, but relatively gentle on the kidneys when used in the right amount. First, red bell peppers are rich in vitamin C. Vitamin C is an antioxidant that helps protect blood vessels and cells from damage. And when it comes to the kidneys, those small blood vessels are extremely important. Your kidneys filter blood through many tiny blood vessels. You can picture your kidneys as a small water-filtering plant inside your body. If the pipes inside that plant become damaged, inflamed, or weakened, the filtering system will not work as well. So foods that support blood vessel health may also support kidney health indirectly. Some people hear vitamin C and immediately worry about kidney stones, but we need to make a clear distinction. The concern is usually with very high dose vitamin C supplements. That is different from getting natural vitamin C from whole vegetables like red bell peppers. Red bell peppers also contain other antioxidants, including compounds that may support heart health. This matters because people with kidney concerns often need to pay close attention to blood pressure, circulation, and the heart. Another benefit is that red bell peppers are lower in potassium than many fruits and vegetables that people with kidney concerns often have to be careful with. For example, tomatoes also contain helpful antioxidants, but for some people with kidney problems, the potassium in tomatoes can become an issue if they eat too much. Red bell pepper may be easier to manage. The best way to eat it is raw or lightly cooked. You can slice it thin and add it to a salad, put it in a sandwich, enjoy it with a low sodium dip, or saute it quickly for just a few minutes. Try not to cook it for too long. Vitamin C is sensitive to heat. The longer you cook it, the more vitamin C you lose. Half of a red bell pepper to one whole red bell pepper a day may be an easy option for some people, as long as it fits their diet and medical needs. The fifth vegetable is asparagus. Now, asparagus has a bit of a reputation. Many people notice a strange smell in their urine after eating it, and some people worry that this means something is wrong with their kidneys. But in most cases, that smell comes from natural compounds in asparagus being broken down and released by the body. It does not mean your kidneys are failing. Asparagus has mild diuretic properties. That means it may gently support the body in releasing fluid through urine. For some people with mild fluid retention, swelling in the legs, or blood pressure related to fluid buildup, this may be helpful. But let me be very clear. Asparagus does not replace diuretic medication. If your doctor prescribed a water pill or any other medication, do not stop taking it on your own. Asparagus also contains antioxidants, including glutathione, a compound connected to protecting cells from damage. It also contains folate, a B vitamin that supports red blood cell production. This is worth mentioning because many people with kidney disease, especially as kidney function declines, can experience anemia. They may feel tired, short of breath, weak, or look pale. Of course, asparagus cannot treat anemia caused by kidney disease, but a diet with enough supportive nutrients is still an important foundation. The best way to prepare asparagus is to steam it lightly or roast it quickly. Just rinse it well, snap off the tough ends, add a small amount of olive oil, fresh garlic, and black pepper, then roast it or saute it lightly. Asparagus tastes best when it still has a little bite. If it becomes mushy, it is not only less enjoyable, but it may also lose some of its nutrients. A small serving a few times per week may work for many people. But if you are in a later stage of kidney disease, or if your doctor has told you to strictly control potassium, speak with a renal dietitian before eating asparagus regularly. Now, before we close, there is one very important part I do not want you to miss. We just talked about 5 vegetables that may support kidney health, but even the same vegetable can cause problems if you eat it the wrong way, eat too much of it, or combine it with the wrong things. The first mistake is thinking, if it's green, it must be good, and the more I eat, the healthier I'll be. That is not true for people with weaker kidneys. For example, spinach, avocado, potatoes, bananas, and oranges can all be healthy foods for many people, but they can also be high in potassium or oxalates. For someone with kidney disease, eating large amounts every day may not be the best choice. In kidney nutrition, one of the most important things to remember is this: whether a food is good for you depends on your body, your portion size, and your kidney condition. The second mistake is drinking too many green smoothies. Many people think blending vegetables into a smoothie is a wonderful way to take care of their health. But one smoothie can contain the amount of vegetables you would normally eat in a very large bowl. And when you drink it in just a few minutes, your body receives a large amount of potassium, natural sugars, and minerals all at once. Eating a plate of vegetables slowly is very different from drinking an entire bunch of greens in one glass. When your kidneys are weak, the speed of what you take in also matters. The third mistake is using too much salt. Vegetables by themselves can be very good, but if you add soy sauce, garlic salt, seasoning salt, salty sauces, or canned vegetables with added sodium, you can lose a lot of the benefit. Salt makes the body hold on to water, raises blood pressure, and makes the kidneys work harder. Instead of salt, use fresh garlic, lemon juice, black pepper, herbs, apple cider vinegar, or a little olive oil for flavor. The fourth mistake is drinking too little water. Many older adults drink very little during the day because they are afraid of waking up at night to use the bathroom. That sounds understandable, but in many cases, not drinking enough water can make the blood more concentrated, make waste products harder to clear, and may affect creatinine levels. Of course, if your doctor has told you to limit fluids because of heart failure, severe swelling, or advanced kidney disease, follow that advice. But do not cut back on water on your own just because you're afraid of nighttime urination. The final mistake is changing your diet without telling your doctor. Every person has different creatinine levels, GFR numbers, potassium levels, phosphorus levels, blood pressure, and medications. So there is no single kidney diet that is right for everyone. Think of these 5 vegetables as smart ideas to bring into a conversation with your doctor or renal dietitian, because the goal is not to eat perfectly for one day. The goal is to help your kidneys feel less pressure one meal at a time, 1 week at a time. And as many people like to say, take it one day at a time. That is how kidney care works too. You do not need to panic. You do not need to be extreme. You just need to understand your body, eat wisely, and stay consistent. Thank you for staying with me all the way to the end of this video. And before you go, I want to remind you of something very important. What we talked about today is not a cure, and it is not a promise that eating a few vegetables will make your creatinine drop overnight. Kidney health does not change in one night. It is more like caring for a garden that has been through years of sun, wind, and hard weather. You cannot water it once and expect everything to bloom immediately. But if you care for it a little bit every day, if you stop harming it a little bit every day, if you give it what it needs a little bit every day, then over time, your body may respond. The 5 vegetables we talked about today, red cabbage, cauliflower, garlic, red bell pepper, and asparagus, are common, easy to find, and may support your kidneys when used the right way, in the right amount, and according to your own health condition. But remember this, if you have high creatinine, low GFR, diabetes, high blood pressure, or if you are taking medications, there is no single food that is perfect for everyone. One food may be helpful for one person, but another person may need to be more careful with it, especially if your doctor has told you to watch your potassium, phosphorus, fluids, or daily salt intake. So think of this video as a companion. It can help you understand your body better, help you ask better questions when you see your doctor, and most importantly, help you feel less confused when you look at your creatinine results. You do not need to change your entire kitchen tomorrow, and you do not need to force yourself into such a strict diet that eating becomes stressful. Just start with one small thing. Eat one salty food with a gentler vegetable option. Add a little red cabbage to your salad. Use fresh garlic instead of garlic salt. Eat raw red bell pepper instead of a high sodium snack. Or simply ask your doctor, with my kidney condition, which vegetables are best for me? Small changes like these may sound ordinary, but to your kidneys, they can be a way of saying, I am still taking care of you. I have not forgotten about you. And I want you to remember this. Getting older does not mean you have to become weak. Aging may slow the body down, but every good choice can still help you live with more strength, more comfort, and more confidence each day. As older Americans often say, one day at a time. Just one day at a time. One better meal. One better glass of water at the right time. A little less salt. One kind decision for your kidneys, your heart, and the body that has carried you through all these years. If this video was helpful, please tap the like button so YouTube can show it to more older adults who are worried about creatinine, kidney health, or what they should be eating. Share this video with someone you love who may need to hear this today. And if you want more simple, practical, easy to follow nutrition guidance for life after 60, subscribe to Senior Food Coach. Now tell me in the comments, out of the 5 vegetables we talked about today, which one will you start with first? I wish you a peaceful, healthy, and energetic day. And as always, take a deep breath. My